Hello everyone, it is Susan here. Today I'm working on a collage piece that is going to end up with a scripture verse or two or three on it. And what I'm doing right now is I'm using my Liquitex matte gel to get down these pieces of different kinds of papers. So let me show you where I'm getting these papers from. So back in the day when there was the Crazy Island Family Facebook group, it was, I don't know, 2014, 15, I don't know, somewhere around there. They had a lot of swaps. They organized a ton of different, very creative type swaps. And I think I participated in every single one of them. I mean, they were pretty amazing. And so what this particular swap was all about was everybody was to swap like a little book that they would make filled with different kinds of papers. And the thought was, well, kind of like, you know, if you're going to go on vacation and you don't want to take too much stuff with you, you could grab one or a few of these little pieces or books of with all the different papers in them and just take that. And so it was nice because, well, I mean, you can see here there's everything from painty paper to scrapbook paper, graph paper. This is like some type of dyed paper right here. A lot of really fun things to use. And so that's what I'm using today. I'll have to make sure that I, over on Instagram, when I share this page, I'll have to make sure that I tag Gina as well as Cindy Utter. And yeah, because they did a lot of the organization together over there. So my goal, like I said, on this is going to be that I end up with scripture on here. I actually pulled out my typewriter and I'm going to pull out my, I want to see what else I can grab out of here. I also want to pull out my sewing machine. And yeah, so I want to, I don't know, type and sew and the whole shebang. So it's kind of cool. It's been years since I have really gotten into collaging. It's been years. I don't know the last time that I actually collaged. Not like this anyway. I mean, I don't know the last time I did at all, but definitely not like this. So, you know, in fact, all of my supplies for this are in my basement. I mean, I have a huge rack with shelves, a metal one like you would see in stores, very heavy duty, beautiful, on wheels and everything. And yeah, so that's where I have all of my supplies, you know. And I have like, oh my gosh, there's just like so much. There's like excuse me, like all the metal pieces that I like to use for my mixed media. Yeah, so I have a huge shelving unit downstairs filled with stuff. So I've been bringing stuff up little by little. And, you know, I just want to be careful on how much I actually bring up here because I don't want to be overwhelmed. And so like doing something like this where it just really involves paper, maybe tissue paper and napkins, you know, it's more paper based, but I can very easily get into very quickly more mixed media, meaning where I would start adding metal pieces and stuff like that. And, you know, paints. You guys know, I know you know what I'm talking about. It can be craziness. So like what I could do, like, so now I have a whole layer of paper on here and I love it. I could take some acrylic paint or even watercolor paint, but I could take some of the paint and put it on here and get another layer. I might just do that. I don't know. I can also, just to add another layer, is maybe take, I'm thinking of even this. This is just like a beige tissue paper. I think I'll pull that out because, you know, this is definitely beige and blue themed. So what I can do is I can add a little bit of this, and I don't have to cover the whole page. And what I am expecting to do is in the middle is where I will put the scripture. So I don't have to focus too much in the very middle of the page. But if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't, you know. Whatever happens. Whatever happens. All right, so see, I do like that. I don't know that I'll even add any more of that. But I'll take another piece, but of the beige this time, and I'm going to put it up top like that. So you see how you can still see through it? Isn't that beautiful? You know, look at this paper. It has gold and black. I'm going to pull a piece of this in. The gold isn't going to look gold by the time I'm done with it, because once it gets the matte gel on it, it's not going to be shiny anymore. But that's all right. Let's pull a little bit of this in. Nice. And I'm going to put one more piece up there, and then I promise, well, I can't promise. I was going to say I promise, then I'm going to stop as far as putting these layers on. I do like that. I do. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop putting paper layers on because I like the look of this a lot. And I'm gonna give it a dry, and then I am gonna get a little bit of paint and put a little bit of paint on top of it. I wasn't going to. I thought I would keep it all paper-based. I don't know. While this is drying, I'm gonna figure out if I'm gonna leave it paper-based or get some other mediums and use it. And I also want to pull out the paper where I'm going to type the verses on. So I think maybe I'll use that paper if I can get that into the typewriter. It's so small. But anyway, so that's my thought. So I will be back and we will finish up this most amazing page. Okay, so I did go ahead and dry it. I typed out my scripture. I will read that to you. And I did pull out some paint. So normally I just do it with my fingers, but I don't want to stick my finger in there because it's going to go up my fingernail and the whole thing. So I'm just going to pull a little bit onto the page and then do some smearing of it. So what this does, and why I enjoy putting on this layer onto a page, any page, is it helps to blend the papers in even more. I'm going to put just a little bit more. You know, I do want to make sure I can still see the colors underneath. And I'm thinking I like that. You know what? I need to put just a tad more on the bottom. Okay, that looks good. So I don't know if you can see. Let me lift this up again. But you can really see like all of the crinkled tissue paper and you can see the texture of it. It's not perfectly flat with the way that the papers are. So I like that very, very much. Now, don't mind me, but I'm using my blow dryer to dry right now. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going away in a couple days on a crafty vacation for 4 days in Pennsylvania, and I packed my heat tool. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to use? How am I going to dry this? And I'm like, you know, I don't use my blow dryer for my hair anymore. So I'm like, well, let me just pull that out and use it. So see, this is actually very convenient. It has nice colors. And it's small. I like that. What I did do was I typed on my typewriter. I have to get used to using a typewriter. It was pretty interesting what I did. On a stained, I don't know if it's coffee or dye stained or tea stained paper. And then I took this Hero Hues dye ink and I just put some around the edges because it was just a little bit too light in color. So I'm going to read the psalm to you, and what I've decided to do was I'm going to take Psalm 24 and then the next psalm will, I think, be 27, and I'm just going to go through the whole psalm. So on this page it's Psalm 24 verses 1 and 2. On my next page, it'll be Psalm 24 verses 3 through whatever. And I'm just going to go through the whole entire psalm and get it onto the pages in order, you know, by verse. So this says, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. The world and all its people belong to him. For he laid the earth's foundation on the seas and built it on the ocean depths. So I like this. Oh, you know what? I wanted to put some sewing on it and I totally forgot to do that. My sewing machine is downstairs. I'm going to have to bring that up. But I guess for the first page, maybe I'll put like a little title here on the paper, maybe handwritten so it's big enough where it reads, you know, Psalm 24. So then that would mean that the next few pages are Psalm 24. Then when I get into Psalm 27, I could put another little title, and then we can go through Psalm 27 together. So I think I'm going to do that. I need to get something like a charcoal. I know I don't have my Stabilo. I know that that's packed. I'm looking around my room to see what I might have close by. Oh, this will work. This will definitely work. So I have these really big pieces of charcoal, and I mean, they're huge. I don't even want to take one out. It's going to get all over my hands. But I think what I'm going to do, what color do I want to do? I want to go fairly dark. So let's see. So if I do a little bit of definition, I know I took the definition away and now I'm adding it back in, but I think it'll look super fun to have, to build, to give it another layer of visual interest. So I'm going to go and do this and I'll be back. Okie dokie. So I am done with this page. I did go ahead and add some charcoal to give it a little bit of definition. I even put a charcoal over this piece of paper in the middle because it was a little too light in color. And I like it. I like it. I am going to put the Psalm 24 up here. I will do that at some point. I decided to redo the end of this video because I worked more on this page and I wanted to come on just for a minute and show you what I did. And I'll have photos at the end, up close photos for you as well. So you can see I did add the Psalm 24. I did the same, techniques where I put the brown ink around the paper and then I took the charcoal and then put it around the whole thing. I found some black thread that I had up here on this floor. So I just took a little bit of it and I glued it down there. And I thought that that brought in a pretty, little effect there. And then I just took a piece of washi tape and I put it up there like it's a little tab. Nothing major, but I just thought it was cute. So I did that as well. So now the page is really, really, really done. I don't think I'm doing anything else to it, but I do have to admit this blank space down here is kind of bugging me. So who knows? But anyway, For right this second, I am done. So let me know if you have any questions about this, and I will see you again. I don't know that I'm going to record every single page or not, but yeah, I look forward to doing this. You know, it's a quick, 20, 30 minutes working on a fun page. Right, it's something easy to do. So let me know if you have any questions, and I pray that you have a wonderfully blessed week. All right, bye-bye, everyone.